Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what I call the cycle of recovery. What do I mean by that? So typically when a family comes to us, a lot of the time they have a loved one in their family who has been in and out of treatment. And I've had calls where somebody had been in and out of, I think, 20 or even more facilities for treatment. They may even have tried to use some of the legal solutions that we offer, and for whatever reason, it hasn't worked. And what I mean is, they go into treatment for a little period of time, they leave, they relapse. Okay, things are okay for a little bit, then they go back into treatment because things are really going downhill fast. They come out and they relapse. Things are okay for a little bit, and then they go back and you see this like constant cycle, and they're in and out of treatment, in and out of treatment. They're relapsing. They seem to be okay. All of this craziness that's going on, and you know, when I was a prosecutor, one of the kinds of cases I was really passionate about was prosecuting domestic violence cases, and we used to talk about the cycle of violence. And what I mean by that is, you know, somebody, you know, typically, not always, but typically, wife would get beaten up by husband. He would apologize. There'd be a period of calm, and then it would happen all over again, and it would continue and continue and continue until finally there was some type of intervention. Normally, the individual got arrested, and sometimes they went to jail. So there was a certain cycle to this. And I've noticed in the cases that we handle, that before the family comes to us, there's been this cycle of recovery where they're in, they're out, they're in recovery, they relapse. And so I want to share that with you, because if this is something that your family has been experiencing, we'd like to talk to you about what options may be available. And typically what has been happening is that somebody has been going into treatment, and either they've been not been at a facility that's clinically appropriate, or if they have been at a clinically appropriate facility, they simply haven't stayed long enough. And what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, if you call us and say, well, I only want to have them in treatment for 30 days, and this has been going on for years and years and years, I'm going to tell you that we're probably not going to be able to help you. Why is that? Because we know from experience that you have to get somebody to treatment, and you have to keep them in recovery for about a year. That doesn't mean you got to hire our firm for a year, but recovery that not only occurs, but sticks. What I mean by sticks is they're not relapsing. They're able to maintain recovery on their own. What I mean by that is it's typically going to be a year-long journey. Okay, that means 3 to 6 months of some type of residential / partial hospitalization, followed by they go to recovery residence. They go to meetings. They do 12 steps. They get a sponsor. They continue with some type of outpatient therapy or services. And that's what I mean when I say recovery. That's what it really looks like. And so if you are a family that is sick and tired of being sick and tired because of this cycle of recovery, they're in, they're out, they relapse, they're in recovery for a brief period of time. All of this sort of craziness where there's no significant period of recovery, then let's talk. Let's see what we can do to help you. And finally end this, not just the cycle, but this nightmare that your family is living. Because having spoken to literally thousands of families over the years, I know what's going on. Okay, my team knows what's going on here, and by the time you come to us, I know that you're tired, right? You're exhausted. This whole cycle of recovery and treatment. It's tiring. It really is. So if you want to talk to us about how we can end this cycle for you, give us a call. We'll be happy to chat with you. And we also have a ton of free resources. There's my videos, there's the ebooks that we have. But give us a call. Let's see what we can do to help you. And thank you for tuning in. If you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, I'd be grateful. And with that said, thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.